listen to this. It's late at night, I'm drawing, and then I get hungry, so I go to the fridge, and what do I find? My pencils. They were everywhere. And now I want to do something crazy. I'm Kauczuk, and colored pencils have always been my favorite art supply. I might be addicted. Some of these pencils are my favorite, some are a bit weird, some are cheap or expensive, and some I have literally never used before. But there are more than 1,000 pencils here. So, I want to use every single pencil in only one drawing. But there are 3 rules. Number 1, the final drawing must be good. Number 2, I can't just make a tiny scribble and say the pencil is done. So, I must use each pencil for at least 67 seconds. But the last rule was the worst. Once I use a pencil, I cannot use it ever again. What did I just sign up for? However, if I survive, I will win the ultimate pencil crown. But will I actually deserve it?
That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself.
First, let's figure out what I'm actually gonna draw. Because all I know is that I want this drawing to be very colorful. Otherwise, using 1,000 pencils makes 0 sense. And my idea was either going to look incredible or turn into a giant rainbow blob. Once the sketch was locked in, the next step was color. Because without a clear plan, this drawing could just get ugly really fast. And all I really need is just a simple guide like this. The final drawing will be peak. But first, I need to do a warm-up. I haven't actually used colored pencils to draw anything in like 6 months. So first, I randomly chose 100 pencils to practice, and I followed the same rules as the challenge. And to be honest, coming back to pencils after such a long break kinda made me feel like a beginner again. My hands felt stiff, and I really struggled to control my pencils. But I didn't want to lose the challenge so quickly, so I kept drawing until it finally clicked. A couple hours later, the drawing looked better than I hoped. But if drawing this was hardcore, then how can I draw with 1,000 pencils? Time to get serious. First, I cleaned my room up a bit and set up my easel. Then, I used the weirdest pencil I own to make my final sketch. How am I supposed to draw with this?
My good time boy.
When the sketch was done, I saw how big this challenge actually was. That scared me because I'm usually a slow artist. Like really slow. And if I have to draw with every pencil for roughly 1 minute, that's about 19 hours of drawing. And I'm afraid that's not enough time to make something good.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
So I started. And honestly, getting the first pencil marks down felt great. After all the planning, the paper was finally starting to look like a real drawing. For a moment, I thought I could actually do this. Then, it was time for the cheat pencils. Some of them would break all the time. Sometimes the pencil core would slide out. It's like these pencils were low-key trying to escape the challenge. Other pencils didn't want to layer that well, and some just wouldn't sharpen at all. And because I wasn't allowed to reuse pencils, every bad one still had to count. Drawing like this was depressing AF, so I asked Kauczuk the DJ to bring the beat in. So I just finished using 100 pencils. I know this because every time I'm done with a pencil, it goes straight to pencil hell. Which after the next 3 hours filled up pretty quickly, because by the end of day 1, I had used 250 pencils. Good night. The next morning, after I had a really good breakfast, I had to prepare to draw with 500 pencils. I have a strange feeling that today is the day I mess it all up. At first, everything was kinda going well and the artwork was looking good. But at this point, I got really lost in the process. And I swear, this rock is sometimes smarter than me. I forgot to set the timer. So I don't know if every pencil today was used for 67 seconds. I didn't want to break my own rules, so I went back and erased everything that I did today. I then had to start all over again, and that really sucked. But you know what? I was just being a drama queen because fixing my mistake was actually quite easy. Ditching my phone for this sexy clock also helped. Now I'm unstoppable. Or so I thought. I was getting close to the 500 pencil mark. I stepped back from my easel and something about the artwork just didn't feel right. From a distance, the colors just looked dull. Now I had to save the whole artwork from being a disaster. To fix it, I had to make some bits darker, some bits brighter. This took a lot of time, so now I was behind schedule. But that wasn't the end of my troubles. At one point, I was running out of my favorite color, the kauczuk purple. So I had to start using the ugly pencils. But the worst of them all was the rainbow pencil, because it changes color depending how you hold it, and you can't really control what color you're gonna get. And the scary part was, I couldn't erase it anymore. So if I don't like something, then there's no going back, because the eraser doesn't work. Not gonna lie, that made me feel defeated and anxious for the rest of the challenge. But eventually, I used 750 pencils. I have one more day to finish the drawing. And only the most expensive pencils left. So I put on my favorite album and got back to work.
Judas, Gaga.
Listening to music usually helps me put my brain on low power mode, and that helps me get lost in the process of drawing and stop thinking.
And stop thinking.
Am I actually dumb? The drawing is almost done, and these are all the pencils I used so far, but there are still all these pencils left. For you watching this right now, it might look like I knew what I was doing here, but I really did not know how to make this work. It was the most difficult day of the entire challenge so far, and suddenly, this whole thing was going to be a disaster and a waste of time, and I'm terrible and useless, and this video will suck, and why am I even doing this? Stop. When I came back to the studio, I decided to think like an artist. Because this drawing is actually about me. Let me explain. All those little doodles you see are inspired by who I am as a person. Like this chook here, who is just as impatient as I am. Or this one, which shows how much I overthink everything. I don't need this drawing to be perfect. Wanting everything to be perfect is like being stuck in a cage. Been there, done that. These were the last pencils I had left. So I took a deep breath and... my drawing is done. Now you have to let me know in the comments if I deserve this. If you want to see what I cook in the next video, then subscribe. And if you want to talk with me, then join my Discord.